Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having an awesome day. I'm back today with another designer handbag review since you guys have been loving all of my previous ones. And I've got a lot of feedback that everybody has really enjoyed the videos since some of you guys actually are looking to purchase some of these bags and has given you a lot of insight as to my thoughts and experiences of the different bags and my process before going in to purchase the bag. So thanks for coming back. If you guys are not already part of the family, I'd love if you guys subscribed and make sure to check out the notification bell so that way you know every single time I'm uploading a video. But without further ado, let's get into today's bag. So today we're talking about none other than the Celine Box Bag. So this bag has been on my wish list for so long. I can't even tell you how long I've wanted this bag in my life, and it has taken me a lot of courage mustered up and a lot of finances saved up as well too in order to purchase this bag. I actually purchased this bag last year in October, right before Celine switched over creative directors, just because I heard all the rumors that they're going to be switching over the logo. They already took away the accent and the E for Celine. It sounds just Celine. I also really wanted to purchase the bag just in case they were going to discontinue it, since I know a lot of the bags have since been discontinued, and I love the Phoebe Philo era because I think she's such a talent. I don't know what else to say. I've been lusting after this bag for years and years and years, but it comes with like a really hefty price tag. I think this bag in Canada retails for at least $5,000, and with tax onto that, it comes out to almost like $6,000 some dollars. So it made sense for me to purchase this over when I was in Paris. Once again, I can save at least $1,000 and I get to get the bag before they potentially discontinue it. So as I've heard since, they haven't necessarily discontinued the bag, but they definitely have changed up the logo. What I was told is that they would sell all the bags that previously had the accent over the E in the logo, and then they would upgrade to the new logo, which now no longer has that accent on the E. Fortunately for me, I did get to snag the bag while it had the accent on, and I'm going to tell you guys the whole backstory as to how I was able to get the bag before we talk about the bag itself. So this bag in itself is actually quite popular, and it's quite coveted after in the Celine fandom, and it comes in a variety of different finishes and leathers. But the black one in this specific leather is pretty hard to track down, and it actually took us 3 tries to get it. So me and Mel walked into the Celine at Champs-Élysées the first day, and we were told by the sales associate that they're completely all sold out. We then were told to come back the next morning at around 10 a.m. when they received their next shipment, and while they were unboxing, they'd be able to set one aside for me. Unfortunately for us, we didn't quite make it in at 10 a.m. We got in closer to 10:30, and even though we thought we were going to be able to snag one on time just because it was only 30 minutes after the opening, they were completely sold out. She had told me already that she sold through at least 2 of them that morning, and that they weren't expecting any more until the next morning's shipment. So after that part, I knew I would have to come back for a 3rd time the next morning, right at opening, to be able to get one for myself. We woke up super early the next morning, and luckily our hotel was actually the street right behind it. So we got up at around like 8ish or so, got ready, and then scooted out at around 9:45, ran over to Celine and made it into there just as they were opening. I could literally see them carrying the boxes from the trucks into the store. So I was like, bingo, I'm gonna get my hands on this bag. And lo and behold, this was the only one that they had delivered that day. They only had one black, and it was gonna be mine. I made up my mind then and there I was gonna pick up this one, even though I'd already walked into Dior and looked at a couple of other bags, mainly because I've been looking after this bag for so long. I've always wanted it, and I figured, what are the chances I'm ever gonna be able to get one again in Paris with the original Celine logo on it before they switch to the new one? So I figured, you know what, let's just bite the bullet, get the bag, and I'll deal with the repercussions afterwards. And I'll let you guys know that I have no repercussions so far with this bag, and any regrets either. So let's just dive right into the bag. I have the black calfskin, and the texture of this one is a little bit rougher than your typical Chanel. So the leather of this one is actually like a really smooth calfskin. I believe it's a little bit more textured than my other bags that I have, but it's also not as supple or as soft as you may expect, because some people definitely do warn you that if you get a bag too soft from Celine, you can scratch it up. I've honestly used this in so many places. I've gone out in public, I've taken public transit, on Ubers, I've taken the subway when people have jostled me, and this bag has barely any scratches on it. It's quite durable, the leather. I would highly recommend this one if you're thinking of getting a Celine bag and you're stuck between getting this one or the pebbled leather, just because you want the pebbled leather but you're not loving the look and you want something durable. This is definitely an option that will stand the time. So since we're already on the topic of leather, let's talk about number 1, which is material of the bag. I love this bag just because the outside is so durable, it's well constructed, all the edges have been really finely sealed. The only thing I'm not the biggest fan of about the bag is the interior, where the leather, it's a lot gentler and smoother and supple, and I honestly sometimes fear that I'm gonna scratch it, but it's okay if you do, don't worry. It's all black on the inside, there's no lining, so everything about this bag is 100% leather. But because the inside is so smooth, you probably can get some nicks and scratches with your keys and your cell phone if you're not too careful with how you're handling the bag. I haven't necessarily seen any scratches on mine so far, just because it looks like a giant black hole, so you can't really see much, but I do highly recommend taking good care of this bag if you are to get it, just because the inside is so soft. Especially if you do get a really light colored bag, you're definitely going to see a lot of scratches and marks on the inside. Since we've already started talking about the leather of the bag and how it's constructed, let's move on to aspect number 2, which is the overall construction of the bag. We'll start with the outside. The exterior is really smooth. There is no pocket on the back here. There's no pocket immediately on the front right here. When you open it up, it goes right into the interior of the bag. The outside has this little clasp that you push up and down to open it, and it's quite easy to maneuver. It's not too stiff or anything. I find it really easy to lock and unlock my bag. I never have any troubles with it at all. The couple things you do want to note about the hardware on here, I got, I think, like kind of like the brass or the brushed gold, and it comes already with some sort of, I guess, kind of, it looks like fingerprints, or it's kind of burnished a little bit, so it's not overly smooth. Over time, you're definitely going to get some wear and tear in this bag. You will scratch it up and scuff it a little bit, which is completely normal, but I do like the fact that because the hardware is a little bit worn in, you don't notice it as much. There is no direct logo branding on this clasp at the front here, but if you do open the bag inside here, in the front, this is going to be really hard for me to show you guys. This little pouch section right here, this little lock right here, it's really hard for me to show you. It says Celine across the front here, and mine does still have the accent on the E. I don't know what the new bags look like. They may or may not. And then immediately when you open it up top here too, it does have the old logo where it says Celine Paris right up there. So opening up the bag inside, you're going to see that there are 3 main compartments to this. The first one right at the front, quite large. Second one also quite large. And then there's a back one that you open up with a zipper. Not as large, and it's really flat inside, so I don't put a lot into here. To be honest, I actually never really put anything into there because I want everything to be easily accessible, and the only thing that's flat enough to fit into there is my bus pass, and I need to be able to reach that frequently, so I never really use that pocket. But it's nice to know that it is there if you need it. Honestly, I would probably use it to put any sort of sanitary towels or napkins inside, like my pads. I want to conceal them so that people can see and they're flat enough. The zipper in itself too is actually really easy to open and close. It slides like butter. I never have any problems opening it. But let's talk about this first compartment right here. This is actually where I frequently put my Metro Pass and my Presto Pass, just because it has these 2 little pocket compartments here for me to put in either my phone, lip gloss, or anything else that I want to put. That area usually goes directly for my keys and my bus pass. The only thing I did want to note is that even though it has this really big accordion stretch opening here, the bottom of this main compartment actually seals to a seamless kind of flat finish here, so you're not going to be able to fit too much into here. Most of the stuff that you'll fit is probably going to sit at the top just because it turns into kind of a triangle and it seals at the bottom. Moving on to the second compartment, which is right here. This one is the one that I put all of my large objects. So I fit a lot of my wallet, my phone, any miscellaneous things such as like my lip products into here, mainly because this one is a giant rectangle. So as you can see at the top, it opens up pretty wide here, and it opens up all the way wide to the bottom as well too. If I put in my phone, it fits in perfectly upright. I can close it and it still fits. I never really struggled to put anything into this bag just because it's so big, especially my phone, which is why I primarily love the size of this bag. So the phone fits in right into there. If you really want, you could shove it down. You can push the bottom a little bit like that just to really squish your phone in, but I don't like to do that because I don't want to damage the bottom. I also fit my wallet comfortably standing upright next to my phone as well too. So now that we've kind of touched base on the interior construction of the bag, let's chat a little bit about the strap here. So this strap is 100% removable. It goes around on the inside. You loop it through these 2 loops here, and then it actually gets sealed with this contraption right here. If you want to take off the strap so that you can carry the bag on your own as like a handheld little briefcase, you definitely can. I think this bag is so stunning and it's beautiful, and it has such like a formal structure to it that you definitely could just bring it into the office like your work bag if you wanted to. But I primarily wear this bag every day with me as a casual bag just because I love that the strap allows me to wear it crossbody, and because of that, I think it kind of looks a little bit more casual, especially with the curved edges, whereas like more of your work bags would typically have pretty sharp edges at the bottom of them. So this is what the bag kind of looks like crossbody on me. It sits more or less around here. If I was to pull it any lower, it doesn't go that much lower. I like where it sits because it doesn't go down to my hips where my hip bone is. And I find that anytime I wear a crossbody bag that sits right on my hips, it bumps up and down a lot as I'm walking, and this one does not sit there. It sits right above on where my waistline is, so it's very comfortable. Flattering as well too because it really accentuates the waistline when you're wearing the bag. So back to the strap aspect here. I think we'll move that on to aspect number 3, I guess. So aspect number 3 is the strap. Even though we're still talking about construction of the bag, You can really adjust this strap in a couple of different ways. I currently have it on, I believe, the absolute tightest, but it's super easy to adjust this. All you have to do is lift this up. I don't want to lift it up right now and kind of wreck the strap adjustments that I have. And I believe that there are two or three different holes. No, I lie. You can have one more hole right down here, so you either wear it comfortably crossbody like that, or if you were to put it over your side, or if you were to limit it down to that short hole, the bag strap would come up to this height, and then this would be comfortable for an over shoulder strap, just on one shoulder. I never wear my bag like that, and I always wear it crossbody, so I like that it just comes this high. You'll also notice that if you were to put this strap down flat like this, the top one kind of bunches up a little bit while the bottom stays straight. And that's just because when you curve it to your shoulder, you really want the other outside exterior strap to have enough space to curl around smoothly so that it's not too tight on your body. So I think that's fine on my end, and that's really nice that they've kind of designed it that way, because it shows that they've done a lot of research as to how to make the strap fit the curvature of your body perfectly. So moving on to the color of the bag. I had a variety of other colors that I could have chosen from. There's a beautiful, beautiful tan color. There's a really nice pink one. I fell in love with the dark ruby burgundy red as well too. And there was a really nice dark brown one, but I essentially landed on this bag purely because I mainly love the bag due to its classic silhouette to begin with, and I want this bag to be able to last the test of time, and so that I can pass it down to my future children or my grandchildren or gift it to somebody else in the future. And I figured that black would be the most classic color to get, since it'll match everybody's wardrobe. If I was to get a more fun color like red, it wouldn't necessarily match the person's personality, whereas I wanted to gravitate towards a lighter color, but I was more afraid that because this would be an everyday bag for me, I didn't want the back to stain if I was to wear it with jeans. Moving on to aspect number 5 now, we're going to be chatting a little bit about the cost of this bag. It is a very, very pricey bag. I think Celine bags are quite expensive to begin with, but I think it pays off in the craftsmanship and the design of the bags overall. I find that they're very classic silhouettes. You're going to wear them for a long time, you can pass them on, and they match a lot of different outfits. I've worn this bag with a casual outfit like this. I currently have on a pair of like khaki, but for the price, I think you get away with using it a lot. Also, because the size is so big, you can fit so much into this. It's not one of those bags where you treat it more as an accessory than a bag. I truly think that this bag is a functional bag for me, since I can put so much into it. And I don't frequently have to empty out garbage from like receipts or like wrappers of things that I eat. Yes, I do sometimes put wrappers into here, guys. Don't judge me. I do throw them out at the end of the day. Don't worry. But this bag can fit a whole ton. I've traveled with this bag and put my passport into it, which is great because passports are usually pretty chunky and large. And I found that it sits comfortably inside of this bag without me ever worrying that it's going to stretch or scratch the inside. So for the price tag, I think it's well worth it. I'll put the details down below so you guys can really see how much the bag truly is if you were to buy it here versus over in Europe. I would highly recommend though that if you can get your hands on this in Europe, definitely do. They have a lot more selection. They frequently get different colors and styles in, so you'll have a higher chance of scoring this bag in the color that you want versus if you were to come here, since I find that they don't typically have that many color options and the frequency of them getting shipments is much lower than over in Europe. So aspect number 6 of this bag, which I really like to point out, is how indistinct this bag is, and not everybody owns it. I don't like having bags that everybody has, although I do know I have a couple of those bags in my arsenal of handbags, but this one is so, I would say, nondescript that if you're wearing it down the street, people won't necessarily assume that it's Celine right away, unless they are handbag lovers like yourself. I like that it's so nondescript and not necessarily recognizable, because A, if I'm traveling, I don't want to get pickpocketed, and B, if I'm also traveling, people don't really necessarily judge me from like what handbag I'm using. And I like that because it's not easy to tell which designer it's from. It doesn't scream, I'm an expensive handbag, look at me, I have money, which is great. It's nice to have a bag that can seamlessly fit in with the rest of your outfit if that's the look that you're going for, which is what I prefer. I don't really like bags that have logos printed all over them, although I do have a couple, and I think it's okay to have some like that, but this bag is great just because of its everyday blendability with the rest of your wardrobe. I don't even know if that's a word to describe bags, blendability, but I'm gonna use it anyways. So there's not much else for me to really say about this bag besides the fact that I truly love it. I think it's a great bag to be investing in. There's not too many brands out there that when you invest in, the value of the bags truly go up by much. I know people say all the time, invest in designer bags because the value goes up every single year. It's not the case. If you guys were to look at bags online and to compare them on the resale value of the market, a lot of the brands that you typically buy bags from actually depreciate in value. There's only a handful of them, such as Chanel, Dior, Hermes, and then sometimes Celine as well too. A lot of the bags that typically do go up in value are the ones that are coveted after and are really hard to find. And I think that even if this bag doesn't go up too high in value, it's definitely one that you can use down the road. It's not a moment choice bag that you just pick up because you think it's trendy, it looks cute. It's definitely part of their classic collection, and I think this bag is truly going to last a long time, not just because of durability, but of the style itself. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Thank you so much for coming back and watching all of my videos. If there are any other suggestions as to what type of products you would like me to review, let me know in the comments below. Definitely open to reviewing like accessories, jewelry, shoes. Don't have too many designer clothes. I have a couple pieces that I definitely can share on here as well. But if there's a specific topic that you prefer besides just bags, let me know and I'll make sure to cover them in my channel for you guys. Other than that, thank you so much for coming back. I hope you guys join the family if you're not already part of it, and I'll see you guys next week on another video. Bye!